The Case of the Exploding Loo by Rachel Hamilton. Chapter 1.
Wacky scientist wiped out by toilet blast.
I collapse onto the sofa and stare at the newspaper headline. Wiped out? Wiped out? Dad hasn't been wiped out. He's gone missing, that's all. The reporter changed the facts to make a toilet paper joke. That's just rude. No wonder everyone thinks something horrible has happened to Dad. The newspapers have been yelling about his disappearance in shouty capital letters ever since the Portaloo exploded 48 hours ago. I screw up the article and throw it across the room. But it's too late. It's already been copied and pasted in my brain. I'm like Dad's all-in-one printer that way. If I scan something once, it's stored in my memory forever. Dad says it's because I have a photographic memory. Smokin' Joe Slater and the school toilet trolls say it's because I'm a mutant freak girl. I prefer Dad's theory.
Controversial scientist and renowned TV personality Professor Brian Big Brain Hawkins vanished when an unexplained Portaloo explosion shook Lyndon's annual Christmas market yesterday afternoon. The top neurologist's smoking shoes were all that remained after the blast rocked the temporary toilet facilities in Lyndon Town Centre.
Mum stamps on the novelty Christmas rug, pounding Santa's face underfoot, screaming,
"I want to see those shoes now!"
Policeman number PC2746 tries to calm her down.
"I'll look into that for you, madam,"
he says. But Mum's not listening. I decide not to listen to him either, mainly because he's still asking the same dumb questions about what Dad was doing in the toilet in the first place. Hello? I cover my ears against Mum's screams and join my stroppy big sister by the Christmas tree. I'm careful not to stand too close, because Holly's response to Dad's disappearance is to kick everything within reach. That's fine when it's not me she's kicking. But it usually is. For the moment, she's taking out her fury on the wall beneath the fake snow-covered bay window. With each kick, she scowls more ferociously at the pack of photographers outside churning up mud in the front garden. Dad will be mad when he sees the mess they've made of the lines in the lawn. He only mowed it last week. No one else on the street keeps on mowing through Christmas. Dad says it's all about standards. Holly says it's all about being obsessed with stripy grass.
"We have to do something, know-all."
Holly gives the wall an extra violent kick. Her voice sounds muffled. My hands are still over my ears. The name's Noelle. I protest out of habit, but I don't hate my nickname. It's definitely better than Mutant Freak Girl. Although Dad says it's good to be a freak when normal people are idiots.
The provocative professor is best known for his public declaration, "Stupidity is a sickness that should be treated." Only last week, the wacky scientist claimed to have discovered a cure.
The newspapers shouldn't call Dad wacky. He's not wacky, he's a genius. This is the man who invented knife and fork fans for cooling hot food and gutter-powered water cannons for use against burglars who are scared of water. He's been helping me with my inventions too, and he was once voted smartest man on TV by TV Wow. But people will forget all the good stuff because they can't tell the difference between the truth and the news. I can. My memory holds a lot of information all at the same time, so I know what's true and what's not true, even if it's in the newspaper. Holly puts up a swear finger at the photographers and yanks the curtains shut.
"What?"
she says, tugging my hands away from my ears.
"Am I supposed to just stand here and let those paparazzi paparatfinks take pictures of Mum screaming at the top of her lungs?"
Why do people say that? I ask. Why at the top of her lungs? Does the air we need for screaming rise, like hot air? Maybe we could do an experiment to—
Ow!
Holly punches my arm, making her knuckles sharp and pointy so it hurts more. Her face is red and damp, but she can't be crying. Holly never cries.
"Stop being so you."
Holly shoves her hands in her hair and growls when they get stuck in her curls.
"Mum's in bits and you're planning your next experiment? You're as bad as Dad."
Her chin quivers and she pulls her right hand free to dead-arm me again.
What's he playing at, know-all? You're his favourite. He'd have told you if he was going anywhere. Everyone's saying he's
Disappeared, I interrupt, worried Holly might go for a different D word.
Asked about the likelihood of finding Professor Hawkins alive, a spokesman for Linden Police said, "We haven't ruled out the chance and we'll continue to work towards that end. However, a source close to the case says, the police are assuming the professor was killed in the explosion. They just want to find out how it happened."
Dad's fine, I say, just missing. You know what he's like. He's probably working on some big invention and has forgotten the time.
Forgotten the time? For 2 whole days? Holly splutters. Don't be daft. What about the leather lace-ups they found in the burnt-out Portaloo?
What about them? They only proved that Dad's shoes were in the toilet when it blew up, not that Dad was. The shoes are a red herring. I know all about red herrings from reading detective stories. Red herrings are fake clues put in place by writers and bad guys to stop you guessing what's really going on. One of the most common is the mysterious death with no identifiable body, or, as I call it, the dead herring. Dad isn't dead. This is all part of a cunning plan. He's a dead herring. Dead herring Dad. There must be 100 reasons why a man might leave his shoes in an exploding toilet and then vanish without a trace. I only need to find one.